What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to get after it, go after a few topics. Today, I wanted to discuss the Bucks, the Packers, kind of round it all out. What's going on with the squads? A lot of good things going on in Wisconsin, in sports lore, repping the Brewers t-shirt, getting ready for the season. Also, main focus, getting ready for them Bucks playoffs. The Milwaukee Bucks continue to put on a clinic against teams. I was watching the Facebook and Twitter feeds last night about the Bucks. They're down 20 at halftime, down by as many as 23, and this is the only team that I can kind of say that I have not been worried at all. Like if it's early on in the ball game, Bucks get down 20, they have the capabilities to go on that run that just completely knocks them down. I mean, they had a 20-point deficit at halftime, and they were down one going into the fourth quarter. That is incredible. We have a team that can do things that I haven't seen before since the early 2000s. It's kind of crazy to think about. I think this team might be better than the team from the early 2000s if they can put it all together and stay consistent going into the playoffs. Now, I'm sure with Malcolm Brogdon getting injured or having his plantar fasciitis kind of flare up, you might see him take a couple games off. You don't want to kind of kill that piece. You need him for the entire season. So let's rest him up, get him into the playoffs. This team has the depth to do that and still be okay. Obviously, we got teams like the 76ers coming up and kind of stuff like that. I don't want to see any overreactions about if the Bucks lose to the 76ers. I know it's at the Fiserv Forum and it's in our house, but I'm not really too concerned if they lose that game, just specifically because Philadelphia needs the game more and the Bucks are kind of coasting a little bit, which is fine. I mean, as long as you stay in that first seed, what do you got, like a 3-game lead, 2.5-game lead over Toronto? Obviously, you want to win as many games as humanly possible, but you don't want to get too banged up before going into the playoffs. I mean, you're already pretty much guaranteed to have home court advantage to the first two rounds of the playoffs at this point. So a lot of good things happen in Milwaukee, and Giannis, to me, is definitely the front runner for MVP. The only thing that James Harden has going for him right now is that the team has started to win more and more consistently, but I have a feeling they're going to end up fizzling out once they go down because they're spending a lot of energy at the later part of the season, but they are getting ready for playoff time. So there's always that. Next things, I want to talk a little bit about the Packers. Packers making free agent signings. I'm not sure about the free agent signings. I mean, they're getting like positions of need. They got the safety, Amos from the Bears. Apparently, he's not good in coverage. I don't know about all that stuff. Zadarius Smith, he was in a contract year. I'm just hoping this doesn't turn out to be like a Nick Perry type of thing where you get him and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he sucks again. So hopefully it's not the Nick Perry thing. Obviously, there's some holes on the offense. I know a lot of people are starting to think, bring Jordy back. I don't think that's a good idea. We've lived in the past for way too long in Green Bay, and loyalty has gotten us only so far. Like, when you start thinking and going back to those teams, like 2014, 15, 16, and all of a sudden it's like, let's stop living in the past. Let's get farther. Let's retool with younger players and go from there. And that's what they did in free agency. If you look at the people they got, I think like the oldest person they got was like 27. They're getting veterans, but they're getting young veterans that can play well and with high intensity. So that's what they're hoping for on the defensive end. And they got that offensive lineman who's pretty much played, I think, every single position on the offensive line except center. So they got a guy that's going to be able to fill in a lot of gaps due to injuries, and I think that's what they wanted, was a guy to kind of go out and do everything in between under the sun, who can fill in at where is needed and do it effectively. So I think they got a lot of good guys, but until they show me something, they're just guys to me. So the Packers, obviously with the draft coming up, 2 first-round picks, it'll be interesting to see what Gutekunst does there, and don't be expecting Jordy Nelson back anytime soon. Don't be expecting Randall Cobb back anytime soon, and maybe Clay Matthews comes back, inside linebacker, not outside linebacker, because he's just lost that step. The Milwaukee Brewers are gearing up for hopefully another run. They're coming at it with, kind of open mind, open heart, and I'm starting to hear a lot of things that happened from last season because they're really anxious to get back at it. I'm anxious to watch them. I'm excited. Christian Yelich is looking for MVP ×2, which is fine. I'm all for it. I'm going to be rooting for him every second of the way. I'm expecting him to find a groove and hopefully find it early and be smacking dingers, and hopefully the Brewers can get out to a good early lead in the division. And hopefully we can actually go somewhere in the playoffs like they did last year. I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing that kind of scares me is we lost. I liked our pitching coach, but he is now with Cincinnati. I really did like. I liked him. Gonna miss him. Hopefully it doesn't throw our pitching staff all out of whack. I like our bullpen. Jeremy Jeffers is kind of concerning me because apparently he's got some shoulder fatigue already or something like that, and he's only throwing the ball in the low to mid 80s, which isn't good. And he's gonna start the season on the DL. It looks like, but that offense should be stout and put up a lot of runs this year with bringing back Moustakis. Getting some depth in the outfield with Gamble. They got rid of Sunday Santana, which is fine by me. He was just riding the pine for a while, and he underperformed. But if you can get a good season out of Orlando Arcia, who I think is the key to this entire thing, if you can get him batting 260, 270 with, 10 dingers and 50 RBI and playing solid defense, I think this team can go to new heights as long as Orlando Arcia is playing well. I'm not too concerned about the pitching staff just due to the fact that we have out-getters. You go out there for 5 innings and you did your job, bringing the bullpen, let the depth of the back end of the bullpen go to work, and that's what's going to happen. We got depth with Hader, Knable when Jeffress comes back, and I'm really looking forward to this team. But yeah, I just wanted to go over a few of the good things that's going on in Wisconsin sports. It looks like Bucks are going to be wrapping up a top 4 seed for the first time in God knows when. It looks like the Packers are filling some holes, and it looks like the Brewers are ready to take the field and hopefully kick some more ass like they did last year. So I'm all looking forward to it. I want to see what excites you guys the most. So what gets you the most excited going forward into the other sports seasons? Is it the draft? Is it the Brewers season? Or is it NBA playoffs? I know personally I'm excited for the NBA playoffs. Less than 30 days until tip-off on the NBA playoffs. So we're all excited over here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, comment below what you think is going to happen in the NBA playoffs, what's going to happen in the draft, and projections on the Brewers season. I'm hoping for 95 wins for the Milwaukee Brewers at least. So look forward to hearing from you guys. More videos to come. Bye.